Welcome back, guys, to the channel, and today I've got a miner video here for you guys. We're going to be going over tips and tricks on how to use miners at Town Hall 10, 11, and Town Hall 12. We're also going to be talking about different compositions that you guys can use with miners. You guys will be able to see that on my overlay on the side. Also, just to let you guys know, the mic quality is going to be really low, especially since my mic, my original mic, my Blue Yeti, did break and I have to get a new cord for it. So let's hope that I can get that and we can go back to quality sort of my voice. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. Okay, so here's our first example, and this is the pure mass miner attack. So what you'll see with this one is that he brings in the heroes over here on both of these sides and then starts sending in the miners here. Sounds pretty simple. However, he does also have a few minions, which he's going to use to kind of, pick off any of these buildings that the splash or, air targeting defenses can't get to. So that's really good, and you just want to remember that. Now, you also want to know where that town hall is because you are bringing the wall wrecker, and you want that wall wrecker to tank. And you could usually bring bowlers, Valkyries, more miners, depending on the base, but we'll see what he uses in this attack strategy. And what you'll see is that first he's going to start off with the minions to pick off any buildings. Remember, he's bringing 6 of these. So he's going to also bring some archers there to help clear up the, these buildings here. And that's what he really wants to do with this one. He's getting a lot of good value from just using those small troops to take out those buildings. What you'll also see is he brings a giant there to tank for the queen, which is very, very interesting. What you also see is that now the funnel's been set on both sides and the miners can now be placed within the base, as well as the wall wrecker is going through. Now, the heal spells are going to be used over heavy DPS like Infernos, Expos, just any sort of point defenses or splash. Another really neat trick that you guys can do is use a freeze spell on a poison spell. That will actually make sure that the unit that's being poisoned will stay in there for longer. So what you can see is from this attack is that the heal spells are being placed where those miners are going to be able to get hit. Well, they're getting hit a lot, and they really need they really need those heal spells where it's really critical. So I would say splash, I would say point defenses is always a must. You can see with this, and that wall wrecker has stayed up through the rest of this attack. So definitely something to try out here at Town Hall 10. Just a very, very strong strategy. It does depend on the base you see. Sometimes you may need a queen walk. Sometimes you may need a queen charge. But other times you're going to be using just a pure mass miner. You can see how many miners he does still have, and he's going to be able to get it done really nice and easy. You can see that within that wall wrecker, he did have more miners, but again, you guys can play around with that. So let's go ahead and take a look at another example. Okay, so this is our second example at the 11v11, and what you'll see with this one is that setting a funnel with the queen walk can be very, very easy to do. You just got to make sure that you know where you want to queen walk. You can see on this base where it is not symmetrical, so it is going to be a little bit harder, but Jehovan is going to be able to show you guys the example of how to do that queen walk so you guys can get a lot of value for your miners. You also see that another funnel is going to be set over here by the king, and he's also bringing in the stone slammer to help get the queen in and take out some value, like the queen and the eagle. Now, the other thing is that you want to make sure that you can start sending in the miners here and not allow them to go on the outside. That is why you're setting that funnel. Now, as far as this attack strategy does go here, is you really want to make sure that you can funnel the queen. That is why he has this P.E.K.K.A. with him to help his queen walk in a certain direction. So now what you'll see is that he's now going to start placing in those healers there just because he wants to make sure that they are still alive or the queen is still alive, and to push on through the rest of the base. Now, using the stone slammer here, he used that one loon to soak up a Sam there that was going to hurt it. And what you'll see is that it is going to have a P.E.K.K.A. within that Stone Slimer. Again, you can be very creative with this. However, he has a few Valkyries and the P.E.K.K.A. However, those aren't going to be enough to take out the enemy CC. However, using the Rage spell over the healers and the Queen, allowing her to take out the enemy CC and also the enemy Queen after a few of those Teslas get taken out. And now you can just start targeting the Eagle. And look, notice this. Notice how he hasn't set a funnel on the opposite side, but he will eventually. He did open up a large portion of those compartments. He will be able to take out that multi-target Inferno, which is big since the miners are going to have a little bit of trouble with that. But now you can see that Jehovan is starting to send in everything else. That includes the miners and the Grand Warden. Again, heal spell placement is the same. You really want to make sure that you can heal them over high DPS like Infernos, mainly because they're splash, as well as other splash units and point defenses. Really just make sure that you can heal whenever. You can also save a heal by popping the Grand Warden's ability. It's usually a good idea to do so. And what you'll see is what Jehovan does is just really, really good here with how he's just going to be able to get through the rest of this base and not worry so much about it. So you can definitely see why this strategy is so effective here at Town Hall 11. And we've got one more to show you guys at Town Hall 12 and show you guys the best way to 3-star at Town Hall 12 with miners. Okay, so here's our last example here, and this one's coming from Ain't Nobody, but this is a very good example of the Queen Walk mass miner attack. What you'll see with this one is how he does have the wall wrecker. He will have the wall wrecker, don't worry. But the other thing is that he wants to set a funnel here, and then he also wants to set the funnel here as the miners go through the base here. Now, don't worry about the Giga Tesla. You won't need to pop the Grand Warden's ability there, and you will see why in a moment on the real reason why you don't have to pop it. Now, notice how it's not walkable, which means it's going to be harder to get it with a Queen. However, as I said, this she said she was 18 is going in here. So what you can see from this attack is that what he wants to get with this is he just wants to get a little bit of value here for that Queen. He wants to break the Queen in so that then she can get the Eagle, the enemy CC, and the enemy Queen. That is what he really wants her to get. So now, as moving through the base, getting the Inferno as well, you also want to make sure that you can bring something to tank like the Ice Golem there. And that Ice Golem is going to become very much in handy in terms of what it's going to freeze. You'll see is that it was prolonging that inevitable, and once it does freeze, that Queen is going to have an easy time picking off the Clan Castle troops here from that poison, not even worrying about the Ice Golem's freeze there. And you'll see is that bam, he is doing a really good job here at going through the base, getting a lot of value, and now he can start sending in the miners since there aren't too many buildings on the outside here. The king is working his way to hopefully take out those buildings in time, and you'll see that as he continues to work through the base here, dropping in those heal spells again when needed, as well as still has a rage spell for the Queen if he chooses so to use it. But what you will see is that now the Giga Tesla has popped up, and watch the miners. Watch how he will still pop the Grand Warden's ability, however, he does not need to. However, just because there is a building right next to it does mean that he will have to pop it. But you are going to see is that he's still working through the base. However, he still has that last heal spell, again, saving the Grand Warden's ability for the back end of the attack to use as almost like a heal spell, will allow your miners to do extremely well throughout the base. So definitely try this strategy out, guys. It is a very, very strong one. Going over miners here at Town Hall 10, 11, and 12. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully you guys kept up with this voice. If you guys did enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe for more of my content. Don't forget that I am still doing content. Even though I have this mic on, we are still going to go for that content. So If you guys want to join the X Humanity family, the link to that is going to be in the description below. And if you want to go ahead and follow me on social media, such as Twitter and also on my Discord server, then feel free to check the link in the description below for those. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.